Play is stopped for injuries anytime or immediately. Okay, again, this is something you probably want to know for your exam. Younger players, meaning the U8s and younger, it's probably better to err on the side of caution. So in other words, when a kid gets hurt, if they don't pop right back up, usually there's tears involved, all right? Go ahead and stop play. Let's deal with the injury, okay? If you're talking about an older kid's game, a U12 or older, a lot of times an injury will occur and all they need is to catch their breath for a minute and they pop right back up. In that case, as you gain an experience in the center position, then you may want to let play continue, but keeping an eye to make sure that the kid's okay. But again, err on the side of caution and go ahead and stop play, particularly with a U8 injury. So let's talk about an injury situation where you see blood. Kid starts bleeding, okay? We do not allow a player bleeding to be playing, okay? If there's a blood injury, stop play immediately, okay? And make sure the kid gets off the field. Hopefully they can get off under their own power. And the coaches know this too. The coaches are supposed to neutralize the blood. So they got to make sure there's no more bleeding and they got to put a Band-Aid or bandage up the bleeding area, okay? And blood on the clothing must be neutralized as well, okay? This, by the book, means there should be no visible blood on the uniform. If that means they need to change a shirt, then they should do that. But in any event, just make sure that there's no wet blood on the uniform, okay? Make sure it's neutralized, that it cannot be spread to another kid, that another kid's not going to catch anything from it. Of course, we learned in Safe Haven that the probability is very low of catching a blood-borne disease, but nevertheless, we're going to err on the side of caution here with any blood, any injury that results in blood. So let's talk about substitutions. The 4 opportunities for substitutions during a regulation match, okay? Again, this is something that you should take note of for your exam later on, all right? First is injury. At any injury time, whoever's injured can be substituted. And in that case, the injured player, if the coach decides to substitute for the injured player, then that injured player cannot come back until the next available substitution break. Okay, so if they are injured early in the first half, for instance, before the water break, then they're eligible to come back onto the field to play at the first water break in the first half. Okay, so then injury is number 1. Number 2 is approximately midway through the first half. And number 4 is approximately midway through the second half, okay? And we've talked about this before. You don't want to create a stoppage in play just for the water break or substitution break, okay? This will usually occur when there's otherwise the ball is out of play, okay? So ball goes across the touch line, blow your whistle, water break, okay? Water breaks should be no more than 90 seconds, okay? And that means get the kids off, get water, make sure the substitutes happen, kids get back on the field, play resumes within 60 to 90 seconds, okay? That's the ideal. If we can accomplish that, you've done a very good job of managing the water breaks, okay? So then the last time is halftime, of course, all right? Halftime, coaches can coach. Water breaks, coaches are not supposed to coach, all right? All they're supposed to do is deliver the lineups to the kids. They're not supposed to really talk about strategies and lineups or anything, where to position themselves. It's only water breaks, substitution breaks, call it what you will, are only supposed to be for water and substitutions, okay? Halftime, though, is a great opportunity for the coaches to become coaches. But in any event, we have the 4 substitutions, which are injury, halfway through the first half, halftime, halfway through the second half. So let's talk about the end of the half and the end of the game. Okay, you have the stopwatch, so you as the center are the person who knows when time is going to elapse. Okay, and when time elapses, no matter the status of the play, okay, whether the team is driving or shooting or whatever, that's the end of the game. All right, and you immediately turn to the center circle and toot your whistle. 2 toots for halftime, 3 toots for the end of the game. Okay, point to the center circle. Then you say halftime or game over. Okay, that's how you end the game for halftime and end the game at the end of the game. All right, and if there's any shot that occurs, the ball has to go in entirely before you've blown the whistle. Once you blow the whistle, game's over, and there's no other action. There's no continuation concept in soccer. Okay.